God. Justin Timberlake got arrested. And listen, I don't condone drinking and driving. I'm not saying that you should drink and drive. That's a horrible thing. His mugshot, he looked like he'd been smoking a Fat J and had about 10 martinis. And I didn't look too much into the investigation, but I'm going to tell you right now, the Georgia law lady's going to tell you, if you get pulled over, you say nothing. If I can give you any legal advice, which is to never give you legal advice, but legally, allegedly, I'm going to give you a little legal advice, you say nothing. Even if you've had one glass of wine, you still shouldn't be driving. You say nothing. Your ass is going to jail regardless. But he looked toasted. So, and listen, we've seen the writing on the wall. I was excited when he came out with a new album. I'm a fan. I always loved JT. I think he's a multifaceted artist. I think he can sing, dance, act, be funny, do the dramas, all of it. But come on. Also, when you're that rich, like if there is one thing I would invest in, it would absolutely be a driver. I like to cruise around on my days off, but I hate driving to dinner. I will take an Uber from Uzbekistan to downtown Chicago. I don't care if it's $6,000. I'll take a car service so I don't have to fight with other people in traffic. You have those friends that love to drive. I hate driving. I never want to do it. I'm a passenger princess. And I like to drive with myself, but I only like to drive with myself in the car where I can listen to my music. I don't have to chit chat with anybody. I can blast old school Trisha Yearwood. I can play Dixie Chicks, Earl Had to Die 7 times on repeat. And just let my heart sing. Sing for the Lord. But I don't want to drive your ass around and do errands. I don't. I can't concentrate. I can't concentrate in a conversation and look at the road and make sure we didn't miss our exit and make sure, a school bus full of children didn't just get smashed into pieces. So I'm always looking for somebody to give me a ride. But come on, JT, you were just having a comeback. And now, oh, God, you can't justify getting a Dewey. And I think this younger generation, now that they have TikTok, wow, now that they have Lyft and Uber, they'll never understand. They'll never understand what we went through. I'm not incriminating myself in any way, but have I been in the car with people who probably shouldn't have been driving? For sure. Did I go to Waffle House and back to my dorm one time and not necessarily remember where I parked my car the next day? Allegedly, maybe in a dream, but wink, wink, nudge, nudge, probably. We didn't have Lyft. I've said this before, but at our school, we didn't even have cabs. We had this one guy named Vern who had a white van and it was called Angel Taxi. And it was $20 a head to go less than a mile from the square, which is our downtown area of our college, back to the dorm. $20. Dude, this was 2005. And we finally got taxis in town. If not, you'd have to call the Sigma Chi house and they'd send a pledge. So nowadays that we have Lyft and Uber, and I know he was out in the Hamptons and there's no cell phone service and it's impossible to get anybody to fucking answer their phone. But regardless, JT, you should have known better. Hold on, I think we just had a voicemail that came through about this. Let's see what our caller has to say.
Hi, Heather. This is Maddie from New York, and my absolutely not for you is specifically these rich celebrities, but really anyone who decides to drunk drive.
Yeah.
Justin Timberlake just got arrested in Sag Harbor after he went to dinner with friends or something. And it's you're so rich. Why can't you just call a car, get in a cab? There's no fucking excuse. Call an Uber. And it's happening all the time. Shannon Bedore from the OC Housewives got drunk a few months ago and hit a fucking house because she decided to drive drunk. It's selfish and stupid, and also absolutely not to the friends who let him get behind the wheel.
Yeah.
You're bad people.
Yeah.
You're endangering yourself. You're endangering other people, and you have the resources and the funds to order a fucking Uber. Call an Uber. Absolutely fucking not.
Hey, caller, I absolutely agree with you. The funny thing is, my only I agree. You should just have a driver on when you're that rich, you should have a driver on salary around you all times, just on the clock. You can afford it, do your thing. But I will say the only justification, and this is not justifying him driving drunk, but the only reason he took his car anywhere is because when you get out to the Hamptons, there is no fucking service. It is so wild. And I think that all the rich people, because there is such a concentration of wealth on that part of Long Island, I think they do it on purpose. I think the rich get out there and they're finally able to be like, oh, no cell phone service, and they shut it the fuck down. You can't get in touch with them. You can't ask them for, a quick hundo, cash. Nobody's asking them for favors. They're alone and they're McMansions and they're just chilling and nobody can get in touch with them. The most annoying thing about going out to the Hamptons is you can't get cell phone service. We went out to, the surf lodge one day and I literally looked like a fucking grandma with my phone in the air trying to get an Uber home. And then you got to wait 45 minutes because it's a 2-lane highway getting in and out. Now, is that an excuse to drive drunk? No. Is that probably why he did it? Yeah. So maybe the other rich people need to get together and form their own version of Angel Taxi. We can't have some rich shuttle bus, some Mercedes Sprinter vans rolling through Sag Harbor, Montauk, East Hampton, Southampton, Amagansett. I mean, my God. This is a public service announcement. Let's get some Sprinter vans. Surely there's a Hampton Jitney bus that we could refurbish and turn it into a party bus to pick your asses up from dinner. I'm not saying what he did is right. I'm adamantly against putting other people's lives in danger because you want to be a selfish jackass. You had a couple martinis, hit a couple hits of a spliff, and now you think you can get behind the wheel. You can't. You're an asshole. But the service is really bad in the Hamptons. Dude, can I tell y'all something? This is bad. Okay, it's not me about drinking and driving, but we live right near our country club, okay? And there's a giant intersection with a big light in front of our country club. All I had to do growing up, I was underage. I think I was like 12. My dad taught me how to drive very young. And my dad just wanted me to be able to take a right out of our neighborhood, go up to the country club, take another right, pick him and my mom up, and then be able to, I would be at a major intersection. I would just have to take a left out of the club and then in 30 seconds take another left. Easy. 4 turns. I'm there. And once you're behind the gates at a country club, anything could fucking happen. You could mow down 6 people and they're like, you Gucci. But I was driving. I was the DD for my party parents way back in the day. Now, my dad didn't drink. My dad wasn't a big drinker, so it wasn't always that. But like if he was out of town and Robin was pouring him back at the club, I was skeeting over. And my dad and I always had a thing. He's like, Heather, if you ever get in trouble for driving without a permit and being, 11 with big jugs, you just say, I took the car. And we had this whole act that we would do. My dad's like, what they're going to do is the cops are going to bring you home. You just be like, I snuck out. Right? They're going to bring you home because you're like 11. And then I'm going to pretend to yell at you and you're going to pretend to get upset because I'm an incredible actress. And then he'd be like, and then once we shut the door, I'd be like, officer, I have this. And then that would be it. But that was our thing. My dad also wanted my sister to go take my SATs. He tried to convince her and Ashley was like, no, that's like ethically, I'm not doing that. Hence why I went to Ole Miss. Ashley, hey, you could have helped me out. But yeah, I was cruising the mean streets. I think that's also something that we should do is maybe give 11-year-olds permits in wealthy neighborhoods just to scoot around.